Chris.
The zodiac signs play a big role in relationships. This is a question for the guys. I guess we can go around the table real quick. George, since you're the special guest, do zodiac signs play a role for you whatsoever?
No, it's nonsense.
What about you, Fresh?
This might sound fucked up, but I believe in signs. You know why? The sign that I am should match your sign. So whatever she says on a date, I'm the sign that matches that sign. Let's go! Sorry, you didn't ask me.
I think it's bullshit, and actually it's funny. There's a study that came out that people that believe in signs tend to be more narcissistic and lower IQ.
But there's also a statistic that says like a lot of wealthy people and billionaires like base their investments and like their money off of astrology.
They do not do that.
Yeah.
Well, I've read an article about like about like billionaires or millionaires.
They probably write that shit maybe to like get some attention or whatever. But signs are 99% of men think signs are bullshit. And to be honest with y'all, when we're hanging out with each other, we always make fun of you guys and say you're dumb bitches when you believe in signs.
Okay, maybe not the signs completely, but like astrology and like the way the stars.
We make fun of y'all for that too.
The way the stars and the moon and the sun.
They might believe in astronomy, but not
the way they
astrology.
work, it definitely affects us for sure.
Have you ever said before like, oh, what's your sign? I guess.
I'm a Leo.
Okay. Have you ever been like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm a Leo, or oh, I'm this way because I'm a Leo?
No, because I don't really. I'm not really like. I don't really claim the characteristics, but I do see like the tendencies, the consistent tendencies of signs. So like, and I also see people that are like completely not like their sign because they have different. I'm not gonna get into it, but they have different like risings and moon signs. So like I said, if you don't think the moon and the stars and the sun affect you as big as they are, then you're crazy because they do.
Bullshit.
I'll tell you this.
Can you imagine if I walked around and said, like, her boyfriend, hey,
if it
I'm a
affects
Libra,
the waves, it
can't
affects
make money.
you.
Sorry, baby. That's how it comes.
My star sign's on the line.
My star sign's on the line with the money, bro.
24.
Sorry,
The
man.
sun and the moon literally control the ocean and the waves, and we're like 90% water. So like, of course, it's gonna affect us.
What are you saying? Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
That doesn't help anybody.
That's like a girl version of bro science.
Science. Okay.
Bro, that's the real reason niggas kicked her out of the military.
I'm
She was
not
talking
saying
about that
I'm not
bullshit.
saying it's
NCIS was like, get her the fuck up out of here, man.
I'm not saying it's 100%.
She on the ship talking about all the waves are coming. I'm a Libra. Jump off, shit. Jump off, niggas. NCIS was like, man, get her out of here, bro. Yeah.
You did not use
for Cocoa Puffs, man.
Do you guys believe in God?
Yeah.
So why is it hard to believe in astrology?
All right, let's stop you there. Let's just stop you there. Let's stop you right there. Holy.
If a
I believe in God still.
Here we go. If a woman is married to a rich man who provides everything for her, is she required to accept trash sex? Not a bad question. It's actually a unique one.
That's a good
Wow.
question.
What do you think,
Great
George?
questions tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't think she should be required to accept anything. I think that she would probably go into the mode that you went into, where she's convincing herself that it's good because of everything else that comes along with it. But I don't think any man or woman should be forced to. If you're not happy, just bounce. You gotta. There's only one life you can live.
Now, is she wrong for bouncing and not settling for that?
Is she wrong for
Like-
cheating?
I don't think anyone is wrong. How can I tell you that
Cheating
you're
is.
wrong for doing something that doesn't
That's
make you
best for
happy?
you. Right.
You
That's
know?
good.
I think a better question is, what are the probabilities that she leaves? And I think the probability would be, depending on her age, right?
It also depends on personal preferences and how big sex plays a role in their life, too.
Yeah, because that's completely subjective. What is good or bad?
Right.
But if the gal's 50 or 55, there's low probability.
Right.
If the gal's 30 or something, then, it's a different story.
I would argue that when it comes to long-term relationships, the person's going to tell you by either words or actions what they want in bed. And if you can't fulfill that request, I would say it's only a matter of time until they find it somewhere else.
Yeah.
So even with money and status, it can hold them for a little bit, but like long-term, the pool boy was very enticing after a certain while. The guy that's doing the lawn, so it's kind of like you want to make sure that you're on all points on point, because if you're not on point on some areas, you're lacking. Sorry, buddy. Should we go somewhere else?
Yeah.
Do you think you can cheat on someone and still love them?
Damn. George?
And again,
Absolutely.
these are random questions, so I'm if you want to raise your hand and say that was my question, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's,
Yeah, but it's all anonymous, so we
I
don't know
think
who
that's
wrote the
completely different with men and women.
question. Okay.
If from a guy's standpoint, absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
I agree.
From a woman's standpoint, I don't think so.
Agreed 100%, yeah. Like, I can absolutely love a girl and have sex with another chick and not care at all and still love my girl the same. But with women, I don't think they can do that. They're just not capable.
I feel like, but don't you think it comes down to a respect thing too? Because like what she was saying, you can catch something and you can give your wife something if you're doing it like not responsibly, right? So if you're a loving husband and you're gonna step out, you're gonna make sure it's not gonna get back to her.
Right now, but hold on. You're focusing on the micro versus the macro. The overall theme is, can a man have sex with another girl and love his girl?
Love.
Of course, but you're saying, well, what about the disease situation? Assuming we, control for that, and they're not being an idiot like that guy was. And I'm sorry you went through that. It's possible is what I'm trying to say. You're talking about a micro situation where I'm talking about the macro, like men are absolutely capable of doing it versus women are really not.
I think men and women can, but the probability of women doing it is lower. I think women are capable of it. I definitely think, for example,
look,
like
there's always exceptions to the rule, but we speak in generalities. I would argue, right? Okay, let me ask you guys a question. Let's go on the table real quick and have fun with this.
Yes.
If you had a boyfriend that you love and admired and respected, would you be okay with fucking another guy?
If I got to the point where I ended up fucking another guy, I did not love him.
There you go.
And the reason, no, I'm gonna speak truth real quick.
Okay.
The reason why is because that means I never respected him.
Okay.
Yeah,
because the thing with women is that I get it. There's some women that feel as if, what y'all gotta understand is that women, we are emotional. Everything we do is emotional.
Yes.
I don't care if you get the girl that says, well, I can fuck 2 niggas, 5 niggas a night. You can't do it. I don't care. It's something that is emotionally tied. You just cannot do it. I get that there's some women that feel as if they can, but emotionally we are not men. We cannot do that. That is not in our structure. And I'm more so, I believe in God and stuff like that. So I speak from a biblical side of things. But I just personally don't think that is in a woman's structure to be able to do that. Once you get to that point,
talk to the host first, bro.
Yeah,
they're doing it.
Yeah, do you think if you had a guy that you really liked, do you think you would be able to have sex with another dude?
Definitely
what about
not.
you? Well,
listen,
not applicable. What about you?
No, because I feel like if another man's catching your attention, you're already dwindling down on the love that you had for the man at home.
What about you, Miss Charger?
Definitely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
If you love someone, why will you go to somebody else?
See, she can't even fathom it, and she don't even like her nigga that much. She can't even fathom it. What about you?
I think women are capable of cheating.
But
I'm asking you in particular. Would you?
Me specifically, I don't think I could.
Okay.
But for the women that could,
okay.
I think
which is the minority.
I think there are circumstances
you, Miss
depending
Columbia?
on what they're having sex
What
for.
about you, Miss Columbia?
If I'm being honest, maybe if I got hurt along the way, maybe I would be like that too. But if they don't do me wrong, then no, I'm gonna respect them. I don't think I would. No.
You see, that's the key, is respect.
Yeah.
Or the safety too.
If a gal loses respect for the guy,
yeah.
then
So,
like you were
can we
saying,
talk
I don't
about-
want I don't want a kid.
Yeah.
Like I don't want a boyfriend that's actually my kid. He's there, that's a way to quickly lose respect of the gal. And like you say, once you lose that respect, you're
It's
on the
over.
shot clock.
Yeah.
Can we
Another
mention,
thing too I want to say is
Tom
that like
Brady?
when men, right, like with us, like we can love our girl and still want to have sex with other women. Like you guys don't even get the inkling to want to hook up with another dude. But for us, it's like
No, it's
just wanna do it all the time.
hardwiring because look, 300 years ago, that's a death sentence for a gal. So that's the way it's been for literally thousands, or depending on what you believe, millions of years. So we've only been out of that stage for, let's say, 200 years, where prior to that, a gal, unfortunately or fortunate, whatever, is pregnant half her life. So she's literally completely dependent. So if you go out and make the mistake and that guy dumps you and your kid, it's literally a death sentence.
Yeah.
Literally.
So that's why now it's still hardwired, and that's just it's not right or wrong. It's just a matter of fact.
Yeah.
good question here. Would you want your daughter to date a version of yourself or your co-host?
That was mine.
You see, you want to take credit when I say it's a good question.
I would have said it anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would have to sit my daughter down and tell her, do you want a man that has money? And most girls do, and I would tell her, good. You're going to have to deal with money problems, and that man's going to have other women. Sorry, that's just how it is. Dudes that have money make the money to not tolerate your bullshit, and they make it to have options of women. And as long as you're the main girl, you have the last name, you have the title, you have the ring, shut the fuck up and don't make his life hard.
Wow.
You would say it just like that?
I would say just like that. Because the thing is that, because the women don't understand that you guys are kind of annoying. I'll be honest with y'all. You guys are kind of fucking annoying. And men and women already don't have a lot of similarities. So men already have to go out into the world and work really hard and build themselves up. So you're going to tell a man that is successful, worked really hard to attain his status and his income and his wealth. You're going to tell him how to spend, the things that he worked hard for when you got your sexual market value for free. You didn't build your value. You had to build his. So you can't tell a man how to spend his value.
Can I ask a question based off of that?
Yeah, sure. But that's what I'll tell my daughter if she wanted a guy that was successful. And then I would also warn her, you can get with a brokey, he's probably going to cheat with you too.
Okay.
So you might as well get with a guy that has money.
So why wouldn't you want to sit your daughter down and say, hey, instead of having to rely on a man out of necessity, you're with a man because you want to be with him. Yeah. Like, I say this, I get what you're saying, and I always see the truth in some of the points that you guys point out. But wouldn't you rather want a female want to be with you because they want to, because they love you, and they don't need you. They can get up and leave
your
whenever.
question is flawed, and I'll tell you why. The problem is that whenever women only want you, they're not going to do what's required to keep you. Does that make sense?
I think that you can fulfill their necessities in other ways, but I'm just saying a lot of what you're saying, oh, he has the money, he has this. Well, what if I come to the table with just as much?
Women, because women need to, like, for a relationship to work, the woman needs the man. Like, whenever girls have this boss mentality that you kind of have where it's like, I just want a man, but it's not a necessity, what ends up happening is you think the grass is greener on the other side, you think you could find a better guy, you think I can do better, etc. And what ends up happening when women have options is they turn out to make really bad decisions. And they'll go ahead and get with a guy that's very attractive. They'll go ahead and get with a guy that has money. Or they'll go ahead and get with a guy that they think is a better deal or whatever. Because they're like, I deserve more, because they make their own money and they base their value off their money. And what they don't realize is he's going to do the same shit the other guy did. And women really don't behave, and they're not in line when they only want you. They need you for it to actually work.
But I think more so, too, what you have to realize is that guys and girls look for completely separate things. So, like, you are everything that you look for in a guy, but you have to understand that guy is probably looking for something completely different.
Bam.
Yep. Don't be annoying.
No.
George didn't say that. That was crazy.
No. I can touch it.
Yeah. No, I hear what you're
George is
saying.
100% right. Yeah.
I get that it's harder to date when you're like in a position of like wanting to have power and like wanting to be independent. But I do think that it's important as a dad eventually one day, don't you want to tell your daughter that she doesn't need to be there, that she
No, I'm going to warn her, and I'm going to tell her go to school, go ahead and pursue your education, etc. But you are probably going to shoot yourself in the foot if you aspire to really make money and be a go-getter. I had this discussion with my sister a couple years ago because women don't like to hear the truth. She was going to med school. She was going to be a doctor soon. She was about 27, 28.
Wait, medical?
Yeah, med school. To be a doctor, not a nurse. But and I warned her. I told her, you better fucking find a guy now when you're still in your 20s, because I promise you when you hit your 30s, you're not going to be able to pull the same guy and you're going to make money and it's just going to be worse for you. So pull a guy now while you fucking can. You better start looking around your med school, whatever, because your value isn't finite. And she found a guy, I think he's an anesthesiologist, and they worked it out. Good. But had I not had that really tough conversation with her and told her, stop being a dumb bitch and find a man now, because she's hard-headed like these other, yeah, bro, I don't give a fuck. Like, I bully the fuck out of her. Like, I have to be very blunt with her and let her know, like, stop being a dumb boss babe bitch, because you're dumb. You don't know what you're you don't know what you're doing. You need to find a man now when you still have the value to do it.
Yeah.
Because when you get older, you're gonna come back around to me. No, fucking get a guy now when you still have the ability to do so. And she found him, but I had to give her that tough love and let her know no one wants a fucking boss babe. So find a guy now.
Hold on, you said
I don't want to say no. I wouldn't say no.
You said the bitch.
Yeah, so stop being a dumb bitch. Find a man now.
Unbelievable.
I'll talk to my brother like that.
What would you say? You think every man doesn't want a boss bitch or a boss babe?
No. I think what it boils down to is,
let's think of reckless.
we have a saying in economics that there are no solutions, there are only trade-offs. So what I would do is sit down and tell this gal, I'd say, look, you got to realize that there's trade-offs here.
George, nice to meet you.
And if you want to pursue, excellence, if you want to pursue success, pursue money, that's great. Go ahead and do that. But realize if you do, you're limiting the pool of guys that not will be attracted to you, but that you'll be attracted to.
Right.
See that.
But if you accept that, I'd rather take the cons of having a smaller pool than taking the cons of having to go throughout life relying on men.
Right, but then what I'd also say is that you have to realize that what you want right now is going to be completely different than what you want at 30 and 35. For guys, that usually doesn't change. You know, when we're 15 years old, we got the poster of the Lamborghini on the wall, and that's pretty much what we strive for the rest of our lives. But with women, what they want at, let's say, 25, like I said, I've had thousands of people work for me, most of them women, and I cannot tell you how many women, professional, very high earners, very high IQ, when they were in their late 20s, early 30s, said, I'm never going to have kids. Never going to have kids. I don't want kids. It would be a burden. And every single one of them, by the time they're 35, they're freaking out trying to find any guy that they possibly can to have a kid. I mean, it just switches overnight. It's absolutely unbelievable. So I try to be as honest with her as I possibly could on the realities of life, the realities of human hardwiring, and then just let her make her own decisions.
You know what I would do?
Try to prepare her as well as I can.
Right.
I would sit her down, turn TV on.
This for your daughter, right?
Yeah. Listen, bitch. What Fresh and Fit? There you go.
Yeah. What? No, I mean, obviously, I know the delivery might be a little offensive to you guys, but you have to. And obviously, it's my sister, so I could be a little bit more direct and blunt with her. But a lot of times, when you're polarizing and you give it in a very direct, concise, even rude manner, they'll at least remember and they'll stick with them. Damn, maybe I am being an idiot and I need to kind of readjust where I'm going here. But I genuinely believe that. Girls, for a woman to truly love, admire, and respect you, she must feel like she needs you versus only wants. Because if you only want something, you're not going to do everything required to get it, right? If I know, if I need oxygen, right, I'm going to make sure that I'm fucking not underwater and putting myself in a situation where I can't breathe, right? If you need it, you're going to do everything required to get it. But when you only want it, I don't feel like it today, right? I only want you as my man, so I don't feel like cooking and cleaning today.
It's like when you breathe air, you need it versus you want it.
And then you also got to ask yourself, why do girls only want a relationship 9 out of 10 times? Typically it's for social proof, to have a boyfriend come with them on the parties or whatever, but they're not doing everything required to actually keep that guy because they don't feel like they need him.
We're constantly living under that guideline, though, of you don't need us, you just want us.
We don't.
No, we don't.
So that's what I'm saying. So when you flip this, the scripts,
but here's the difference. You're attracted to it when we only want you. It doesn't work the other way around. Women want a man that they're constantly chasing. It doesn't work the other way around. Women want to feel like they have the best deal. So for them to feel like they have the best deal, they need to need the man while the man only wants them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't need a man
the only
that
thing
needs
that
me.
throws me is I just would think that you would want for your daughter to be able to provide for herself regardless of who is in the situation or not.
Yeah, well, I think he
thing.
would. It's just a matter of just going back to honesty.
Yeah.
So she doesn't believe something that is fanciful or some sort of, she doesn't believe something that's a dream and something that has no attachment to reality whatsoever. So as an example, let's say, how old are you again?
24.
24, okay. So how much do you want to be making by the time you're 30?
I want to be a multi-billionaire by the time I'm 30.
Okay, so let's just say that you're making $1 million a year by the time you're 30.
Okay.
Okay, so what age range would you be comfortable dating when you're 30? Just based on...
In my 40s, in the 40s.
Okay, so maybe 10 years older?
Yeah.
Okay, so then you got to say how many guys in Miami are making over $1 million
Screw Miami,
a year?
I can't do the dating in Miami, but...
But you see where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
Wherever you're living, assuming that you wanted to date a guy within, 5-10 miles or something like that, you have to say, okay, how many guys in this area are straight? How many are single? How many...
it makes the pool a lot. I already know I'm going to struggle. I can already truthfully say that.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying I'd rather those cons
trade-offs.
of struggling than not building this lifestyle for myself.
Yeah, and as long as you understand that going into it,
yes,
more power to you. The problem with the educational system right now is they tell the girls that they can have everything.
Yeah.
And they don't tell them that they are limiting their pool, and they tell them that yes, you're going to be making $1 million a year and you'll be totally happy dating a guy that's making $50,000 a year.
Absolutely.
That's true.
And that
or you
is-
build them up. They tell them you can build them up too. That's the other thing that lie they tell women is you can build a man up.
Especially at a young age, like yourself.
Yeah, it's zero money.
Yeah. No. Look, man, I always say, you want to go to school, you want to make money, you want to be successful, cool, but are you prepared to deal with the consequences?
Yeah,
and
that's a
those
good way to
consequences
say it.
are more than likely, extremely high likelihood you're going to stay single.
Yeah.
Because the very men that meet your requirements don't want you back in return. They want younger, hotter girls.
Yeah.
So, okay.